The Aussie dollar is buying 93 US cents, 71 euro cents and 56 pence sterling. And for more on finance, we're joined in the studio by Rod North from Bourse Communications. Good morning.
Good morning.
Share market here fairly flat so far this week? Yeah,
fairly flat, I suppose, when you're not getting a lead from Wall Street, and we've come off the end of the reporting season, so I think a lot of those results that came out over the last couple of weeks have sort of set the scene, I think, for a lot of companies about what the next 6 months might hold, and it's been a bit of a mixed bag, really. A lot of those companies that didn't maintain their dividend have caused a bit of concern to some shareholders, because a lot of shareholders rely on income. But I think we're going to go into that phase now where a lot of companies over the next 6 to 12 months will look for acquisition to grow earnings. So in many respects that'll help keeping the market at a sort of level where it's sort of growing quite sustainably, which I think is quite a good thing.
And did the market have much mercy for those companies that either didn't maintain dividends or, heaven forbid, drop them?
No, I think those companies that, surprisingly decided not to maintain or keep their dividend, actually saw, in some cases, 4 to 6, sometimes 8% drop in the share price. So I think that's a bit of a warning. I think at the end of the day, a lot of people, invest for growth as well, but that income's really important for them in this sort of economy as well.
Yep.
And the Reserve Bank's due to meet today. House prices still accelerating, but do you expect the RBA to hold firm?
Yes, I think so. 2.5%. We've been there. This is the 13th month, record lows. I think one of the key things is a lot of the sort of data that's coming out. I mean, the only one that is worrying, I suppose, is property prices. I must admit, I was very surprised with the RP data property index showing an increase of 4% over the winter period, and then with Melbourne showing a 6% increase and Sydney a 5%, when normally you see that in spring. So I think there's a lot of heat in the property market. I can't quite see how that's going to change in this spring season. That is, to me, a bit of a concern. But yet, against that, we saw the TD Securities inflation gauge come out and put the inflation rate at 2.5%. So that's between the bands. So, for the Reserve Bank to look at that data, it'd be thinking, well, inflation's contained, so that's not too bad. And then the one sort of key figure I'll be looking at, even though the last sort of data, came into question a bit, is unemployment, because that is on the rise, and we're sort of at the top end of the Treasury forecast there. And we all know, because you reported on it for the last 12 months, so many companies are still shedding staff. So, we've got some sort of so it's really an economy in transition. I think the Reserve Bank's got to look very closely over the next 6 months and watch it. But I really can't see rates moving up in the short term.
I guess the house price issue too is a tricky one to read, isn't it? Because the question is what's actually driving that increase in house prices, and it may not be local confidence. There are a range of other factors.
Well, I think so, and I think there's a lot of international sort of money coming into the market, and I mean, Australia's a very livable place, and particularly our major capital cities and all of that, and I mean, it'd be interesting to see what even happens up in the Ord River, because I think you reported yesterday on the potential for a new city up there. I must admit, I've been up to the Ord River, and at one stage started to go swimming and was told that's not such a good idea. There's a lot of crocodiles in the water at Lake Argyle. So
20,000, I think.
I think they'd have to
outnumbered.
Watch the crocodiles there.
You'd want to add some croc nets, I think.
Rod,
I think
thanks
so. Very much.
Thanks very much.
Rod North from Bourse Communications joining us in the studio.
Lots coming up on the show, including